Alright everybody, this is my Darkest Diablos deck profile. My name is Kolestar11. Please, if y'all will, hit that like and subscribe button for more videos and more deck profiles. Listen guys, I made this one today. Pretty much rushed it. It's a Lair of Darkness, Darkest Diablo. It's the newest structure deck they've come out with. And it's all centered around the field spell, Lair of Darkness, and the dark monsters, and using Lair of Darkness and having the ability to be able to sacrifice your opponent's monsters, and Lair of Darkness does turn every monster on the field to dark. And we're gonna jump right into it. Alright everybody, start the deck off. We have the 3 Darkest Diablos. Your opponent cannot tribute this face-up card on the field and cannot target it with the card effects. You can only use the effects of Darkest Diablo, Lord of the Lair, once per turn. If a dark monster you control is tributed, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when you tributed, or hand even if not. And the second ability is you can tribute 1 dark monster. Your opponent places 1 card from their hand on the top or the bottom of the deck. Alright, pretty much the first ability means that you cannot kaiju this. The fact that you cannot kaiju this, it's the boss monster of the deck pretty much. It's not, you're not going to have any more XYZs, anything like that. You'll pretty much go into this every time. And that's Darkest Diablos. Alright, the next one I run at 2, and it's the King of the Abyss Diablos. Cannot be special summoned. If you tribute summon this card, the tributes must be dark. Cannot be tributed by card effects while face up on the field once per turn during your opponent's draw phase. Before their normal draw, look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place that card on either the top or the bottom. It's a 2,800, 1,000. It's a pretty big beater. It's not like the Darkest Diablos. That one's the boss monster of the deck. This is kind of like the secondary, and I run it at 2 because it bricks at 3. Alright, next is Lilith, the Lady Lament. And I run this one at 3. She's a level 3 Fiend. If this card is normal summoned, its original attack becomes 1,000. Quick effect, you contribute 1 dark monster, reveal 3 normal traps from your deck. Your opponent randomly chooses 1 to set on your side of the field, and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. You can only use the effect of Lilith once per turn. Pretty much, she's a heavy beater. She's 2,000 attack. If you normal summon her, she's 1,000. Her effect goes hand in hand with the crush cards that are in this deck. Virus cards. Pretty much, you use her effect, you select all 3 of the virus cards. Whenever you activate this effect, your opponent has to pick one of the 3. And he doesn't have a choice but to pick. Very good card. Using its effect to tribute. If you tribute itself while you have Darkest Diablos in the hand, Darkest Diablos comes right out as soon as you tribute her. Pretty good card. I run it at 3. Doesn't brick easy, and use the traps more than ever. Next card is our Hermira, the Wicked Warden. That's your Lair of Darkness getter. Pretty much, if you discard this card, you can get a Lair of Darkness added to your hand. You contribute 1 dark monster and draw 1 card. Or you contribute a dark monster other than this card to activate this effect. You can add 1 dark monster with 2,000 or more defense from your deck to your hand instead. You can only use the effect of Arhim once per turn. Run this one at 3 because you need as many layers of darkness as you can. So I usually run 3 layers of darkness, and then 3 of him, and then 2 terraformings. So you have a total of 8 copies of Lair of Darkness in the deck. Alright, your next card is going to be Armageddon Knight. And I run this one at 2. When this card is summoned, you can send 1 dark monster from your deck to your graveyard. This card acts as a Foolish Burial. Armageddon Knight is probably one of the most important in it. And it's a very good card to have. It keeps you from having too many spells like Foolish Burial, and it also allows you to get monsters in your graveyard that can get back out, like Darkest Diablo. Alright, next I've got a single Skarm from the Burning Abyss. If you control no spell traps, you can special summon this card from your hand during the end phase. If this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add one level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand, except Skarm. Pretty much you use this one right here, and you get any level 3 Fiend type in the deck, which most of the Fiends are level 3s. And this deck is all Fiends, all Dark Fiends, and Dragons. The next card is Tour Guide from the Underworld. Everybody knows this card. When this card is normal summon, you special summon one level 3 Fiend type monster from your hand or deck, but it has its effects negated. Also, it cannot be used as secret material. Next is Cassius, the Mega Monarch. Then Duke Shade, the Sinister Shadow Lord. Alright, the last single. Oh no. You've got Prometheus. Prometheus is for late game. Pretty much, if this card is normal summon, banish one or more monsters from your graveyard. If you do, this card gains 400 attack for each until the end of the turn. So if you don't have anything left and you still have a Prometheus, banish everything in your graveyard and pump him up as high as you can, because he's going to be your last shot. A Curry Bandit, and that's for the spells and the effect that you can do, and you can also use him to tribute himself to get the spells, and then in accordance you activate Darkest Diablos. Alright, I run 2 Stygian Street Patrols. I don't think I said that right. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original number of levels that the monster has in the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Fiend type, 2,000 or less attack from your hand. Its second ability is the one that I would find myself using the most. Usually, I take Armageddon Knight, and I would send Stygian to the graveyard, activate his effect, special summon one from my hand. And then the last card, and this one needs to be ran at 3, Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Fiend monsters you control except Fiendish Rhino Warrior cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one Fiend type from your deck to the graveyard except Fiendish Rhino. You can only use the effect of Fiendish Rhino once per turn. Alright, the last 2 cards in the deck, I usually keep them in the side deck, but you'll need them every once in a while. Absolute King Blackjacks. They're for the trap card element of the deck. They're very handy to have, and they are dark monsters with Fiend types. They also have a defense of 0. So one of the spell cards that you're about to see coming up does apply to King Blackjack. Alright, for our spell lineup, we're going to go ahead and toss it out there. The Lair of Darkness. Pretty much what this does is all face-up monsters on the field become dark. Once per turn, if you attribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you can attribute one dark monster your opponent controls, even though you do not control it. Once per turn, during the end phase, special summon as many torment tokens as possible to the player's field in defensive position, up to the number of monsters attributed that turn. So, let's say you get Darkest Diablos out. Okay, that's one tribute. And let's say you activate his effect, there's another tribute. At the very end of the turn, you'll summon these torment tokens. And whoever tributed, even if your opponent tributes, they get these torment tokens. It's pretty much like the Jurassic Egg for the Superconductor Tyranno for the dinosaur deck. Except, in this case, it's torment tokens. Alright. That's Lair of Darkness. That's the most important spell in the deck. Alright. Of course, you have a Terraforming. For your draw power, you've got 2 Allures, 1 Pot of Duality, 1 Recurring Nightmare, 1 Soul Charge, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Hand Destruction, 1 Fires of Doomsday. And this card is actually very good because it's a quick effect card, and you can special summon 2 Doomsday tokens, which you can use those tokens to summon the big monsters, tribute summon the big monsters in the deck. You can only tribute summon dark monsters with these tokens. That's it for the spells. And now for the traps. Now, if y'all remember earlier, Lilith, the Lament, this girl right here, she has this nice little ability that pretty much focuses on the viruses. And here's your viruses. I run 4 in the deck. Grinning Grave, Full Force, Eradicator, and another Full Force. Full Force is probably the main one that you need. Eradicator will be your third, and if you feel like running 4 viruses, go ahead and throw your Grinning Grave. Viruses are self-explanatory. Pretty much target Darkest Diablos, sacrifice him, and then poison your opponent. On top of the viruses, the trap list is Dark Light, Mind Crush, Sinister Yorshire, Call the Haunted, Dark Illusion, Time Space Trap Hole, Bad Aim, and Torrential Tribute. Guys, this has been my Darkest Diablos deck build. It was kind of rushed, but I hope it was good enough for everybody. And y'all don't have to run exactly what I've made here. Y'all can change it up, switch it up. Leave it down in the comments. Tell me what y'all did to make it better. I've tested this deck several times, and this is about the best I can get it right now. It's going to take a lot more further testing for me to get it exceptionally tournament ready. If y'all will, hit that like and subscribe button, please. I want to keep doing deck builds. I want to do all my decks on this channel and more. Maybe interview some people, maybe show some people off, maybe get them to send in some videos. I'd love to do some more work with everybody. Thank y'all, and Kolestar11 out.